Welcome along everybody to the Hotlap challenge, round 39 lap guide. We are in our Porsche 911 RSR. As you can see, we're at Trial Mountain. After the new physics, this has been a very tough week for me, but I've managed to put down quite a good lap. I'll say so myself when you'll see it. This one, the first sector, all about bravery, all about threading the needle and trying to keep the car stable. In the lower gears, I'm finding it's not too bad. Coming out in second and some of them, and the final penultimate corner, in first to get that extra boost of acceleration. So what we'll do is we'll change into our view. We'll go right into the lap guide. Here we go. My brake balance is at 3 to the rear. Kept the car nice and stable for me. Here we go. We're coming up to turn 1. We're going to just lift off the throttle, thread it through here as best we can, get on the power here, change down to 4th, around about here, and you're going to try and cut as much of the blue and white as you can on the inside. Power out in 4th, as you can see I'm using a little bit of brake to control the car, but we're going to power out in 4th and use all of the track on the outside if we have to. Power out in 4th, get onto the curb. Just at the entrance to the tunnel here, you can see I'm braking. I'm going to go down to second. I'm going to go right into the edge of the tunnel if I can, onto the grey cement on the left hand side. And you've got to try power out in second, which is very tricky because there's an awful bump on the exit of the tunnel. So here we go. Down to second. Power out onto the grey stuff. Careful that bump, it is a nightmare. And we are looking for the first big rock on the right hand side there, on the left hand side, sorry. As you can see, I've just come off the throttle, just going onto the brake. Try to brake in a straight line, and just after that sign on the left hand side, the yellow sign, we're going to try to turn in and carry about 60 mile an hour if we can, mid 50s. Let's go. Heavy braking down here, cut onto the curb, get on the power as soon as you can. Now this one is very, very tricky. When I get in line with this blue curbing on the left hand side, that is when I brake in a straight line and try to keep it as tight as I can. So we'll go forward a couple of frames. As you can see, I'm coming off the power, just getting on the brake now. So we'll go down to second, keep it in second, keep it tight, get on the power. And for this one, again, at the start of the tunnel, I think I'm just a wee bit further in the tunnel, down to second, then on we go, up to third, to 4th. Now you want to change up to 6th gear just before you exit the tunnel here, as I'll give you a wee bit extra speed. You're going to hit the limiter if not, and we're looking again for just after the sign. On the right hand side, you can see I'm starting to brake now, just after that yellow sign. Again, we're going to go down to 2nd gear. We're going to try to keep it as tight as we can and then exit in 2nd gear. But as it's very cambered, it's going to be very tricky, so you will spin out if you're not careful. Nice and tight, get on the power. Use all the curb if you need to. Get over to the left, and you want to straight line this as best you can. And I am braking just as we get to this tree stump as ever. Always a good brake marker, this one. As you can see, I'm just braking. I'm going to brake in a straight line all the way down to the apex of the corner, then come out in second. So down to the apex, out in second. Use all the curbing. Get over to the side. Now for this one, just between the two shadows I found was the best for braking here. And again, we're going to go down to 2nd gear. Try to come out in second. Try to use the yellow and the blue and white curb on the inside. No, I was a bit wide there, so I could have saved a 10th there maybe. Up to 4th, and after this one, just after this grey barrier here between the Texaco and the apex signs, that's where I'm going to start braking. Let's move it on just a little bit so you can see just a wee bit more. Yep. Just basically in line with the sign, braking all the way down to 1st. For the penultimate corner, down to 1st, cut onto the sausage if you can, get on the power, then up to second, hold at least 60 through here, and then power in a straight line towards the line. And that is going to be, for me, an absolutely brilliant lap of Trail Mountain, a circuit which I never get on well with. And a 1:52.4 is probably not going to be beaten by me this week. It is between 10 and 20 on the leaderboard at the moment. And I don't think I'll be able to improve that, because that for me was as good as I can do Trail Mountain. So what we'll do is we'll go all the way back. We'll go out of car. Let's go. Do it again. So all the way over to the right hand side. And just here, you're going to lift. You're going to let the car run in. Again, lift, let the car run. Down to fourth. Cut onto the curb and use the exit. Start the tunnel, braking down to second. Late apex, so get on the power. That's as close as you can get there. There's that rock, down to second again. On the power. End of the curbing, down to second, then up to third. Now we'll do this one again properly. Here is my brake marker just inside the tunnel. Where are we? Yep, right here. This will be my brake marker for this one because I missed it in the last lap. And then we go down to second, and we're going to try and come out in second as best we can on the inside. So let's see. Out in second, up to third. And the more time you make out of that corner, the more time you make on the lap. So the earlier you're on the accelerator coming through there, the better. Again, end of the tunnel, up to 6th gear. Here's the sign. Down to second, cut in. Car got a little bit slidey, but that's okay. Didn't need to use the curb, but you can if you need to. Straighten up. On the brakes. Right onto the apex here, and then get back on the power when you know you won't hit the outside wall there. Between the two, down to second. A little bit late of a turn in for the left-hander, as you've seen. So, possibly do that a bit better. There's the grey barrier. Down to first. Cut onto here, up to second. Keep the car stable. This is a very tricky corner. The car does like to get slidey. And there we have it. That's your hot lap guide for this week. I hope it helps. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you very soon for the next one. Cheers all.